Hey everybody, I wanted to go over the Exam 2 answer key, give you an opportunity to see what you missed before class, before you get your copy back. Yeah, here we go. Let's do some multiple choice stuff. Okay, first of all, let's come up with, this is the name for this is key, Largo. Yeah, okay, good. Okay, so some multiple choice. So this question here, I guess we don't need the calculator in this case. And it says, which of the following changes to the system at equilibrium would cause the concentration of H2O to increase? So we want this to go up, so we want a shift to the right. Okay, so a shift to the right. So the volume of the system was decreased at a constant temperature. If the volume is decreased, that means we're going to shift to the side with the least moles of gas. So there's 3 and 4 is 7, and 2 and 6 is 8. So this one is going to shift to the left. Okay, the temperature of the system was increased. Well, the energy is on this side of the equation. And so if we increase, let me do this in a different color here just because. Okay, so now we're going to increase the energy, so that's going to make sure that that shifts left. Now we remove NH3 from the system, and that's going to shift left as well to compensate for the lack of NH3. And then the last one is N2 removed from the system, and now that one is going to shift right in order to produce some more N2. So the correct answer here is D. Okay. Now for question number 2, it says, which of the following would cause a reduction in the equilibrium constant? Well, okay, so K is equal to products over reactants. So what we want to do is we want a reduction, so we want to reduce the products and increase the reactants. So we want this to shift this way. So now we have a temperature, or not a temperature, but an enthalpy. Enthalpy is negative, so that means it's on this side. It's exothermic, it's releasing energy. So we want to have that shift to the left. Okay, so which one is going to cause this to shift to the left? Increasing the amount of SO3. So if we, and I'll do that now in a different color, I'll do it in green. So if this increases, that's going to shift to the right. Reducing the amount of O2, again, to compensate for that loss, it's still going to shift to the right. So now if we raise the temperature, that's going to cause this to shift to the left. Okay, and then if we lower the temperature, it's now going to shift to the right. So the correct answer here is C. Okay, so for question 3, it says, which of the following would make a good buffer in formic acid? Well, a buffer is the weak component and its conjugate. Okay, so this is a weak acid, so we want its conjugate, and its conjugate is going to be CO2H with a minus charge. Okay, and so which one of these has that as there? And so that's going to be this guy. Okay. Okay, so question 4 is where is pressure not going to have an effect on the equilibrium concentration of the products and the reactants? Well, remember that a shift occurs to shift the side with the least or the more moles of gas, depending on what you're doing. So an increase in pressure is going to cause this to shift to the side with the less moles of gas. As pressure goes up, you want the moles to go down. Okay, so if you want no effect, in essence, you are saying that you don't want to have, you want to have the same, about the same volume or the same number of moles on each side. Okay, and so if we look here, pick a different color, so this is 2 moles to 2 moles, so right off the rip, this is no change in the number of moles of gas. This is 4 moles, 1 and 3 is 4, and this is 2, so 4 to 2, so an increase in pressure is going to cause a shift this way. This is 0 moles of gas, and this is 1 mole of gas, so that's going to cause a shift this way. And here's 2 moles of gas, and then 3 moles of gas, so that's going to cause a shift in this direction. But we don't want to have any effect, so that's going to be A. Okay, so now we want to see what the conjugate is here again. Okay, so conjugate base of H2O. So a conjugate base, H2O, sometimes I want to write this as HOH. And so a conjugate base means that it has, that it is willing to accept a proton, or that this is an acid. So if it's an acid, this is donating a proton, making its conjugate base hydroxide ion. Okay, so its conjugate base is the hydroxide ion. And then it says, which of the following corresponds to the acid reaction? Remember, there's only one acid reaction. This is the reason why I asked this question, is because I was hammering this home forever and ever and ever. Only one acid reaction. And so we want the acid reaction. So that's going to be HA plus H2O is in equilibrium with H3O plus A minus. Okay, so anything that doesn't have H3O over here, we can get rid of. And the funny thing is there's only one that has H3O, and that's that one. So that's got to be the right answer just based on that alone. But in this case, we're saying that this is the acid plus water is in equilibrium with H3O plus, and then we're going to lose a proton, NH3, and so that is your reaction, which is what we have here. Now the last question is Le Chatelier's principle, and here we kind of have to write a reaction to see what's going on, and then we can do the Le Chatelier's principle. It says, which of the concentrations will be increased when HCl is added to a solution of acetic acid? So HC2H3O2 plus H2O is in equilibrium with H3O plus C2H3O2 minus. So now HCl is a source of this guy right here. So that's going to increase. And so since that goes up, this is going to shift to the left. And so this is going to increase. So the two things that are going to increase are 1 and 3. So the answer here is C. Okay, so that's the multiple choice answers for exam 2. Have a great day and hope you loved this.